How is government planning to tame rising prices of commodities?
To give us some answers, we have with us on the show One News's business editor Regina Lay. She is joining us live tonight via Zoom. Hi, Regina. Regina, I don't know about not feeling 6.1%. Robbie, would you agree with me? I feel it. I also feel the pressure on chicken supply.
Yeah, I certainly, I think everybody had the same reaction, diba? But Reg, not to split hairs here on the actual number, I think bottom line, the president did acknowledge the bottom line here. Prices are rising, but just to the point of we could not have been that high. What might be a basis that he could stand on, or what might he hope to see further in data that could give us some sort of comfort that no, maybe there's a way to adjust, at least so we know our baseline?
Hi, Robbie. Hi, Sean. Look, I can't speak for him. I'm not sure exactly why he's doubting the numbers, but I can tell you that the Philippine Statistics Agency is a highly reliable bureau, and they did, by the way, respond to the president saying that it stands by its report. Perhaps the president was just shocked at how high it is now. I mean, remember, we did start the year at just 3.2%, and 6 short months later, we're nearly double that. I will also point out that the president was right about one thing, which is that most of the inflation we're seeing is imported. In other words, it's a result of the ongoing war in Ukraine and runaway oil prices. It's not anything that we did wrong per se. Conversely, what that means is that it's going to be harder to tame prices because, we import most of our fuel, most of our oil, and things like fertilizers and animal feeds, which we need in agriculture. So yes, in a way, these are all factors that are beyond our control for now, right? The only real long-term solution to inflation that we're talking about here is to become more self-sufficient with food, which I think the new president is fully aware of. And that's why he says agri is his quote-unquote single and highest priority for now.
Right. However, even if we successfully do ensure some sort of food security by bumping up our local agri-sector, Reg, there would be some sort of delay. So in the meantime, we will be suffering, and normal Filipinos would feel the pain of rising costs every single day. What policy tools are with the government for them to be able to, stymie that a little or cushion the impact a bit?
Sean, I did not get anything from the press briefing that he gave this afternoon, to be completely honest. It sounds like they are still talking about it. He did give an indication a strong indication, I should say, that he is not really in favor of more importation in the long run. President Marcos did point out that importation is usually just used as a price stabilization measure in the past, meaning it was only ever used in times of crises, and that he said that he prefers that we import, quote unquote, as little as possible moving forward. But of course, again, that's a long-term solution. For now, because the supply is still insufficient, he did acknowledge that we will have to continue importing pork and chicken. You mentioned in your intro that chicken prices have just gone a little out of control now. Let me point out that that's one of the things that the Statistics Agency also mentioned in this morning's briefing. Before, we were only talking about pork prices, and now chicken has slowly started weaving its way into the narrative. Even the fast food outlets, I don't know if you guys have noticed, you might have noticed some of the outlets are either running short on chicken or the pieces are getting smaller, apparently.
I know we have to, Reg, we have to wrap this up. Yeah, but really quickly, can you give us the correlation? Because we did hear in the soundbite from President Marcos, he said that, he's not minding so much, the weakness of the peso. But this, as we know, of course, that has a big impact on inflation numbers. Can you talk us through that just really quickly?
Yes, so the peso obviously is at a near 17-year low now, but he is consistent in saying that they're not the Banco Central is not minding the peso exchange, the foreign exchange at the moment, because their sole focus is on taming inflation. Remember, the Banco Central has as a policy tool, the interest rates in order to control inflation. When inflation is high, it means there's so much economic activity. There's a lot of buying and selling, so they raise interest rates to try to tamp down some of that and encourage more people to save instead of taking out loans to spend, right? So that's one policy tool that they use. But look, the Banco Central has been consistent in saying that they will, that they don't mind the very weak peso at the moment. It's close at 55.23 to the dollar today. It's hurting our importation even more, obviously, because you pay more for everything that you import, fertilizer, fuel, whatever that may be, animal feeds, right, and so on and so forth. So it might aggravate inflation in the coming months, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, maraming salamat, Reg. The business editor for One News, Regina Lay.